Hello and welcome to the Goofball Coalition, your one-stop shop for everything that's ever been funny, ever.
In the world.
Yeah, in the world, in the whole world. My name is Sarah Kennedy. I'm a stand-up comedian.
I'm Leslie Nesbitt, and I do sketch comedy.
And in this podcast, we really do look at the intersection between stand-up, sketch, and improv, and we find out all kinds of cool stuff that's happening with that stuff, not only in Albuquerque, where we're both based, but kind of all over the world, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, world.
Yeah, we're worldly.
The world.
Yeah. So let's get started. We got a whole world out there.
Oh, God, it's going to take a while. Let's do it.
Welcome to the Goofball Coalition, the podcast that lives where improv, stand-up, and sketch comedy collide. And now, here are your hosts, Alex Knight, Sarah Kennedy, and Leslie Nesbitt.
All right. Welcome to the Goofball Coalition, y'all. Today we've got a really interesting episode because there was an article that came out in the New York Times a couple weeks ago about sketch comedy. So this is right in your wheelhouse, Leslie.
Yes, I'm here for it.
Yep. The title of this article is "Your Local Restaurant is Doing Sketch Comedy." And it's talking about how it is a big, not even a TikTok trend, it is a movement through social media for local businesses, local organizations, and other accounts to really tap into their inner sketch artist and present people with funny stuff.
Yeah. And they do, I mean, some of them are doing a great job. Mm-hmm. They've got a lot of good sketches out there.
They do. So the one that gets brought up here, you said you had seen it. I hadn't seen it before, but it's about a pancake. It's Judy's Family Cafe in Galesburg, Illinois. Mm-hmm. And they have a sketch that got up to 9.8 million views on TikTok. And it was just posted in August. So
yeah.
What made it cute? What made it good?
I would say a lot of these sketches too are they play on the randomness of things. And what was so good about this one is that, you know, you're scrolling through TikTok and this guy is just driving by and this lady's just standing out there. You know, he's like, don't look at her. She's trying to sell his pancakes. And you're like, well, what's this about? And then he pans backwards and she's in the back seat. And she's like, try our pancakes. Yeah. And it was just like, what? And then I think, I don't want to say shock factor, but it's that so random thing. Then you're like, oh my God, is that a restaurant? Is this like a thing? You know? So it's just that very random. It does play into somebody just scrolling through TikTok, right? So it doesn't. The start of it is just.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I've done a lot of like research into social media stuff. I haven't put any of it into practice, but the stuff I have read about always says, like within the first 2 seconds, you've got to do something that's going to make people just stop for a second, even like
yes.
Just sitting down in a chair and making direct eye contact with the camera, or like having a really good text hook that just says like whatever.
Right.
And then within 2 seconds, you got to switch camera angles and you got to do all kinds of other stuff and keep everybody's energy. And I think sketch is very good at that.
Yeah. Sketch can be as short as you want it to be, you know, and you can really play with all different costumes, all different types of people, all different, you know, whatever. It's just what I want to know, because like you were talking about looking into social media is like, how do people come up with such good, tiny,
and it's not even like one. You have to do it almost every day. Not almost. You are supposed to do it every single day, sometimes multiple times a day. Really, honestly, multiple times a day. Like as much as I'm trying to hedge it, if you could come up with like 3 to 4 sketches every single day, edit them and have them up for people to see them and enjoy them, that would put you in the highest echelon of any account. But it's like, that's another thing that they mentioned too in the article is like a lot of them have kind of a DIY feel to them because they are being recorded, edited, and posted from somebody's cell phone for the most part, usually. And I think that that's also so interesting, and usually probably why it's the younger people helping the business owners like make it happen, because they
Right.
like there's a use of the phone that I even still I'm like, I need my laptop for this. I really gotta get in there. Like,
I know. Yeah, same. And then like I think it has to be the younger generation. There's a trend of a sketch, I think, going on advertising some businesses where it's like, I had my Gen Z social media person edit this, and it's just like terrible edits.
yeah,
And I stay through it.
yeah, I do
I
too.
watch the whole thing. I say, oh, who posted this? You know, it's not like I remember, but it's like it, you know, even if it's a trend and I see it multiple times, I'm still like, well, how did they do this one? You know? So
I've seen the reverse too, where it's like the social media person was out, so the head honcho decided to make content on his own. And so usually a guy or a girl or anybody has the camera, and they're like getting these like close-up product shots, and then you cuts to him and you can see like him like with the phone doing like an up, like looking up at the ceiling and getting some stuff, and then like trying to like get a group of people doing something, and then it's like you see the result of all of those shots, and it's just that the camera has been turned on the main person, and it's just a bunch of weird serious selfies that
right. Yes. And that's the joke, right?
yeah
That's the twist.
they don't get it.
Yeah, that's like, yeah, even in sketch, it's like that's a play on what is it? Fish out of water. So he doesn't know what he's doing, you know. So like just like joke on that. I just had this thought of like, because TikTok is relatively new, and two things. TikTok's relatively new, so I wonder if this stems from the companies having somebody have their Twitter account, and like Wendy's was so weird, and like being weird gets people to notice you, right? Even if you are just Wendy's that everybody sees all the time. And like they're used to, but like seeing Wendy's comment or do something on Twitter, maybe it just like melded into TikTok.
There's almost always like a little bit of a gold rush that happens when something new comes along, as far as like a social media. Like the trick is you should be early in there, figure out what people want, and then usually the next phase of it is like get in there and be as funny as you can, knowing the best practices of those things. And then there's a burnout moment that happens where people are like, oh, you're gonna be funny, and of course you're gonna try to be funny, and then they move on to the next thing, and then the same thing happens over and over again. So
yes.
But like I was thinking about that with like product, like actual product design. Like there was a time where it would just be like a Dion's cup. You got Dion, you got the little chef guy. And then all of a sudden Dion's cups had like, don't let your sister share your Dr. Pepper. Come on, like, and they had like a little character that there was like on the side of the cup. And then now they've kind of figured out a way to switch it to now it's like more about upholding their mission and their values and those kind of things too. And so like you can watch that stuff all happen. And that's kind of what happened on Twitter too. I think people can still be pretty funny on Twitter, but people got like TV deals and stuff out of being funny on Twitter, which is
which is like, well, how do they expand that to a TV show? You know? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, it's really interesting. Just the flow of things and how it goes. Like I think the newest thing that's trying to be, and I don't know if it's sketch anymore. But have you seen the Nutter Butter TikToks? Which
maybe
like people are like, oh no, Gen Alpha got a hold of social media because it's just a Nutter Butter with eyeballs in flames, and then it's like, you want eat me? Like it's like weird. But somebody's like, you have me talking about Nutter Butter now.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm
like
talking about it.
Those Quiznos commercials. Do you remember where they had those?
Yes.
The little hamsters, and everybody was like, "Ha!
What's this? I'm gonna go eat at Quiznos.
I guess maybe now I gotta go to Quiznos."
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, it's totally viable. Though honestly, at one point it will become like how, and there's already pockets of TikTok that are like, how weird can you be on TikTok? And honestly, Gen Alpha wise, it's like What?
What's going on? Skibbity toilet?
Oh, I can talk to you about that.
No.
That's a wild one, but
Because I understand Pauly Shore
sure,
and all of his stuff.
sure.
That made sense to me.
It's the same for the most part. Skibbity Toilet was like a computer generated series of videos that actually had this guy in a toilet. Like his character was named Skibbity and he was in a toilet, and that was like kind of he was the main character of it. And he's scary. He's like kind of scary. And then
Yeah.
he ends up having to fight these guys who are like bad guys with cameras for heads. And but Skibbity Toilet came out of that, and that's why it meant something bad for a long time. And then it became a filler word that people just say, and then people still attach it to things like Ohio. And so like Skibbity Ohio is like, boo.
Weird.
It's just
Okay.
linguistics.
Well, it makes sense now.
Yeah.
Makes more sense. I never knew it. I never
Yeah.
knew. I never understood.
Did you see this? I don't know why you would have seen this. Well, yes, I do, because you would watch SNL the way that I watch SNL. Did you see the episode that Elon Musk hosted where he was the doctor who was talking to like all the Gen Alpha kids using all their language?
Oh, yeah.
But he was actually talking to Gen Z kids, but it was still the same like crossover
Right.
language.
Yeah. Yes. I think I remember that. I just remember he had really weird wigs.
Weird. I mean, sometimes I think when the writers don't know what to do with a guest, they just are like, wigs. Let's
Yeah.
get the wigs out. Go ahead and bring in the wigs.
This wig.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. These youngins. No, I'm just kidding. But like I think the other thing about at least advertising with sketch, like it has to be short.
Mhm.
And so a lot of younger people are really, because they were raised in this, editing generation, like they're so good at it. So they're good at like putting stuff out fast and thinking of something short. Like
Yeah.
for me, I'm always like, I have to have 3 minutes. You have to keep it under 3 minutes. This is so hard for me.
You know who's doing a good job of this locally is the Yeller Sub. Do you see any of their stuff?
No, I don't.
Man, the Yeller Sub is a submarine restaurant. They make
Right.
sandwiches, and it's up by it's up on Montgomery and Louisiana, I want to say. It's like in the same shopping strip as Richie B's Pizza. It used to be where the TJ Maxx was. I remember that from back to school shopping. But right before you hit to Tima or whatever the furniture places.
Right.
But they've been around forever, like forever and ever.
Yes.
And their subs are really good, but only very recently have they had this like renaissance, like a Yeller Sub essence. And all of their stuff is good. And all of the employees play a part in it. And it's just so fun and so uplifting. And then you get to find out all this other stuff that they do for the community through watching their sketches. And then it makes everybody just love them so much. And so now like the Albuquerque Foodies Facebook group and stuff just talk about them almost every single day because everybody is so plugged into what they're doing.
Yes. And that's how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like much more interesting than like a regular commercial. And honestly, like with streaming and all that, they force you to have ads now if you don't want to pay. And I don't want to pay. I literally ignore them. I ignore the commercials and I pull out my TikTok and I'm probably watching commercials on my TikTok.
Yes.
It's more interesting.
I mean, it's crazy how much people will buy an ad for an NFL game when the only NFL game that people are paying attention to their ads is the Super Bowl.
Right. Yes. And even then, I feel like maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just not getting interested as much. But like, I don't know if they're as good as they used to be.
That's fair.
All the
I've
really
seen
good better on TikTok.
Yeah, that's so true. All the really, really good ones come out like the week before, and then they get a big old like media push about them.
Exactly. So. Yeah. And then, I mean, I watch a 2.5, 3 minute TikTok with Scrub Daddy. I will watch the whole thing because he's just yelling at you. I don't know. I'll have to send you one if you haven't seen them because they're so fascinating. They're fascinating and he's funny. And you don't know him because you just see his arm.
Yeah.
And so I'll sit there. There's commercials on the TV and I'm like, I don't need you. I'm going to watch my Scrub Daddy commercial or my pancake commercial with the lady. Yeah, it's much more interesting to me.
Yeah.
Or Yeller Sub. I have to go there now.
Now you got to go.
Yeah.
We're making content for them right now.
We literally are. And that's what I think it is. It's like people have to be, and like who knew that they could be so good at sketch? But they are. There's a lot of people out there great at sketch.
They got the Leslie Nesbitt stamp of approval. They're good at sketches.
They are. And they work on me. And I will go buy things. I will go buy them.
Any other thoughts about this?
Oh, I just keep doing it, man. I think everyone's doing a great job.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, no, there was one more thought. I'm so sorry. I think this also stems from, do you remember in the early 2000s or something, there was that barbecue / auto sales / barber shop guy. Yeah, and I feel like he's still people talking about him. But like if there was TikTok back then, I think it would have, he had to probably film it on a camera, apply it, like try to get, TV stations to do it. He had to edit it and put it on YouTube or the TV station. And now people just do it on their phones and they're like, oh, I upload it. Boom. It's easy. I don't know. Technology, man.
It's true.
Yeah.
Let's go to segment 3 because I have something I want to bring up to you. You ready?
Ooh, okay.
Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Welcome to segment 3, everybody. This is where we tie up loose ends, plug stuff, and finish out the episode. But
yeah,
Leslie, this is very important and very pertinent to what we've been talking about.
Okay.
Do you remember? You grew up in Albuquerque, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. Do you remember when Ernest used to do the commercials for Blake's Lotaburger?
Yes.
Okay. So this is.
I loved him.
They found the old commercial, and it had been a thing for a little while that they couldn't find the old commercial. And what they could find was Ernest commercials for a different brand of a burger chain that wasn't Blake's Lotaburger for a different market.
What?
But it was literally line for line, shot for shot, the exact same commercial, but it was for a different city's burger chain.
No.
Yes. And so but they found the Blake's one, and maybe we'll put the Blake's one up on our Instagram or something like that so people can get caught up on it. But it's like him outside of a window, and he's talking to Vern, and he's like, well, and then like the window gets like shut on his fingers, and then it's just like a shot of the bag and the burger.
Right.
So what I ask you at this moment is, was Ernest one of the very first influencers who just got all these contracts and then just like churned out that content?
Yes, he did. That's wild. You know what? Great. I loved him. He was so funny.
He was.
I loved all of his movies. Yeah, he was one of the first influencers.
It's wild too, because now it's like a bottom-up situation, and he had to start like, I'm not even gonna say top down, but he had to get to
the top, and then he was allowed to do these commercials. Yeah. Like they wanted him to do them because he was at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? Word for word?
Word for word.
He didn't live here in Albuquerque?
Ernest did not live here in Albuquerque, and neither did Vern.
Oh.
I know.
He never ate Blake's?
I would venture to say he never ate Blake's.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
I'm surprised they didn't ever have anybody else that was like of that same ilk. Like, don't you think there would have been like an Elvira Blake's commercial? Because that would have been the same kind of.
Yeah. Well, she only wanted to do horror commercials.
Yeah. Well, she did like Bud Light and stuff too. So she was like a couple brands higher than
right. Yeah.
Blake's,
for sure. Wow. What a time. Now I want Blake's.
See, look, now we're doing it again. We're making content for other brands.
Yes. Tell your friends about the Goofball Coalition.
Yeah. This is just going to be us doing like a grand slam of like all the brands that we mention in this episode. So we mentioned Yeller Sub and Blake's and Dion's.
Dion's, that's right. Only Albuquerque based.
Only Albuquerque based ones. So
repeat.
Yeah. Those ones that are always looking for influencers or whatever. Like, who's really great at social media is 7 Clover Cannabis. They were one of the sponsors for the Funny Fiesta. And if you go on their Instagram, they are killing it. They do such good stuff too.
Yes.
I,
you guys, Dry Heat's doing great stuff.
thank you. You know what? You know who does that? That's mostly Jared. Jared does all the sketches, and he's a virtuoso, and so we let him run with it. So
it's been real fun watching those.
It's love to get to do those.
Well done.
Yeah, thanks. But there's so many other places out there in Albuquerque that I think could really jump on the content train. You know, those ones that we could mention right now, like the Albuquerque Isotopes or Electric Playhouse, or
or the zoo.
The zoo, the Albuquerque Biopark.
Yeah.
Or
the tram.
Oh, the tram.
Balloon Fiesta. Like, stop being so serious.
It's
do some sketches, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The doghouse.
Yes, the doghouse. Oh, so many great. Frontier, absolutely. Yes.
Cool. This will be a really funny smash cut, but also all these places. I would watch sketches about local places all day long. Like, I would really be plugged in to what we do around us. So
especially if they like really lean into Albuquerque. Like, let's do Albuquerque content for Albuquerque. You know? Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, Leslie, anything you want to plug?
Oh gosh. The show, PM now, Friday and Saturdays. Come see it. Jam, as always. Halloween jam, for sure.
Got that coming up.
Any sort of comedy at the Box or Dry Heat, I would say, come do it.
I have to miss the October jam.
No.
Oh yeah, because I'll be in Houston for the premiere of the Houston Meow Wolf, which I'm a part of.
Oh my gosh, how fun is that?
Yeah.
Well, what the heck? That's so exciting.
I know, I'm really excited about it. I signed an NDA, but I'm fairly certain that once they announce that it's a thing, if not, I'll cut this out. But also, I'm gonna go down because they do like a premiere thing, which is neat.
That's gonna be fun. Do we know the theme? We do.
It's a radio station.
I've only been to Santa Fe. I haven't been to the other ones, but the
Vegas one is so cool.
It's a grocery store.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, I gotta go.
Meow Wolf, look at us. We're just mentioning brands left and right over here.
Who doesn't want to live in New Mexico? Right? Come on, guys. We got a lot of good stuff. Here. Yeah.
So I'll miss that one. But I do still want to, and maybe as of the time that this airs, figure out a date for us to do a sketch jam so that people can bring, because I ran it by a bunch of people during the Funny Fiesta, and they were stoked to do it. So
yes, sketch jam. Good.
Okay.
I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, me too. So I'll work with Doug and Kristen, and we'll get a date for maybe inside of Dry Heat. We'll do it in Dry Heat, and then we'll. Cool.
Yeah. Okay. Bueno
Foods, another great brand.
Albuquerque Tortilla Company.
Oh, I love them. Also, Red Door. I love Red Door. They're amazing. And Teller is also a fantastic brand. Hollow Spirits, fantastic. We have some great distilleries here. Anyway, now this is just turning into like, when like Huey Lewis has that one song where it's like, Detroit, San Francisco, Chicago. Like, we're just doing that, but for brands.
But with Albuquerque brands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
That's good.
But anyway, yes. So there's always something going down every single weekend on Comedy Corner on Second and Gold, both at Dry Heat and The Box. You can find out more information by going to dryheatcomedyclub.com or theboxabq.com. But keep listening to this podcast. Rate and review us on Apple Podcasts.
Wherever you listen.
Yeah, wherever you listen. And we will see you all next time.
Yeah. Goodbye.